Hey there everyone, welcome back to another video on Poll Chat. Today's video is a list that contains some of the best moments of Jordan Peterson. Number 7. Response to riots. Shedding some light on how we don't learn from history, Jordan Peterson explains how all of us are so protected that most of us don't even have a clue about the threats and dangers we are vulnerable to. This is one of the few interviews he gave in 2021, and it's great to see him in good health.
You know, we don't expect to see a riot when we go outside. But the riot, in some sense, is the default condition. And we're so protected as modern Westerners, let's say, that we don't even know what the walls guard us from.
Number 6. Right to offend. Another one of Jordan's brilliant moments occurred during a chat on TV when a reporter asked him why his right to freedom of speech should be greater than that of a transgender person's right to not be offended. In response, he cleverly turned the question on her by saying that he was uncomfortable in the debate, so why should she have the right to cause discomfort to him?
Why should your right to freedom of speech trump a trans person's right not to be offended?
Because in order to be able to think, you have to risk being offensive. I mean, look at the conversation we're having right now. You know, like you're certainly willing to risk offending me in the pursuit of truth. Why should you have the right to do that? It's been rather uncomfortable.
Number 5. Confrontation. During one of his many interviews, he asked the interviewer to reaffirm the topic of conversation that they were having. When the other person said that they were talking about masculinity, Jordan argued that they weren't. He then continued to say that the interviewer was just constantly putting him in corners and laying false accusations on him. This showed that he wasn't afraid of anyone.
About masculinity.
We are.
No, we're not.
Yes, we are.
How are we talking about masculinity?
Because I'm asking you what you think of men and of women.
No, basically what you've been trying to do, I would say for the last 15 minutes, is put me into a sequence of corners by accusing me of various forms of misbehavior.
Number 4. Keeping a room clean. When an interviewer asked Jordan why he related activism and protest of the economy to keeping one's room clean, he had a brilliant response. He simply stated that the young people were looking to solve huge problems while they were unable to solve a small one, such as tidying up one's room. So in essence, Jordan said that we need to start small.
Know how you can go out and protest the structure of the entire economic system if you can't keep your room organized.
What are the limits of that idea though? Because you can have a lovely clean room, but if for my generation, you know, we're looking down the barrel of climate change, we can't afford a house, some people can't get work, university education's unaffordable. Like there are these huge, massive problems in society and the political economy that are also going to, you know, screw us over in the big picture that the clean room isn't going to necessarily fix.
If you're going to fix complicated problems, you have to learn how to fix simple problems first.
Number 3. Stepping down for diversity's sake. During his simple appearances on radio, Jordan was told that a woman from a political party was calling on white old men to step down so that more diversity can happen. Jordan then asked her what her background was, and was told that she was white. He then answered by flipping the question, and said that why doesn't she step down from her position, so that colored people could take her place.
Ministry of Women's Affairs in New Zealand and the Minister of Women's Affairs, or the Minister for Women as she's known, suggested recently that there were too many white old men on boards in New Zealand of private and public companies, and just suggested that they needed to move aside so there could be more diversity. Your response to that suggestion?
Well, what's her racial and ethnic background, just out of curiosity?
I think she's born in America, Julianne Genter. She's a member of our Green Party here.
Is she white?
Yes.
Well, maybe it's time for her to bloody well move aside and let someone who isn't white have her position.
Number 2. Trans women. Jordan has very striking views on transgender people, and he was asked whether he thought that transgender women were real women. To this question, he initially responded by saying no. He then explained his answer by saying that he considers women to be real if they are capable of childbirth, having female reproductive organs, and have the XX chromosome. His quick response to the question was impressive.
A trans woman is a real woman.
I don't really like the way those questions are formulated. You know, I don't know what that means. What do you mean a real woman?
Well, I'm asking you, in your mind, you know, it depends what you think a real woman is, but do you think a trans woman is a woman?
No.
Why not?
Because I think that women are capable, generally speaking, of having babies, and they have female genitalia, and they have an XX chromosome. And
Number 1. Views on Nazis. Jordan is often asked questions that are thought to be a gotcha moment. One such moment was when he was asked what he thought of Nazis at his protests. He simply replied that he didn't like Nazis.
Peterson, do you have any comments on the Nazi presence at your protest? The presence of Nazis and white supremacists assaulting people at your protest. Do you have any comment on that?
yeah, I don't like Nazis.
Well, this brings us to the end of our video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you haven't liked the video yet, it's never too late. Give it a thumbs up, people. We will see you soon in another video. Until then, take care and goodbye.